Well, I'm starting something new. You're looking at my grandfather's pocket watch. It hasn't run in a long time. Dad had it. The crystal is loose. It wouldn't run. I bought some tools to take it apart. That is the movement, stripped movement. That would be the dial side. But I've got it all taken apart. If I can find, here we go. That's the parts we're looking at. And let me tell you, they may look big in the video here, but they are really small. And there's the mainspring. I'm going to take out that, what would it be? Second, third, and fourth wheel bridge. Here we go. Okay, took that center wheel out. The long shaft goes down into that hole towards the dial face of the, or the dial side of the movement. Then next will come that, not sure what it is, fourth wheel, maybe? This one right here. That fourth wheel come out. Or I don't know. Next one's this second biggest one on the right here. That last one I took out, that long shaft goes down. I'm assuming the same thing here. I'm looking on the microscope too. The pinions look good. That's a good sign. I was worried about that. And there's the pallet wheel. I don't know if I can get that out or not. That's what I'm going to try next anyway. There is the, what do you call it? Pallet wheel. And the pinions look good on that too, which surprises me. That pallet wheel, the long shaft and the gear are up. Kind of unlike the rest of them. Then there's this little spring right there that I'm going to take out. That sits on top of, let's see if I can find it here. Rides on top of that click. I'm going to try to take that click and that spring out next. Okay, so I got the spring barrel out, the mainspring barrel. Haven't taken this spring out yet. I don't know what we're going to find there. But I want to make sure that we pay attention here now on this barrel. The gear side is flat. It's on the bottom. Cover on the top, of course. And I pay particular attention to the way that spring lays in there. There's a little hole that the arbor catches on, and then there's also a little hole, one of those little rectangular holes on the edge of the plate, the cover plate,
So here you can see
that the other end
mainspring
sticks in.
housed within the barrel,
and then
is
you want to pay
take this
attention on
out,
some of the
and that will
previous
also
video
be clean
here
because it will add
to make
oil,
sure, I don't know,
and that will also give us a chance
there's
to
a square
inspect the
end and a
mainspring,
round end on
because
that arbor
sometimes
shaft, and
they're
when I
too
took
far
it out I
blunt,
didn't
and
pay
you'll need
good
to
attention
replace
as
them.
to
So there are ways to
what
measure
goes
it,
where, if
find a
the
suitable
square end goes up or down, but
replacement, and
it should be able to
match the
tell by
look
looking
with
at
the
that other
movement.
video.
There's plenty of resources.
Okay, the next thing to come out is this part of the, what's the right terminology? The motion works, is that right? No, I don't know. Anyway, this lever that has to do with setting the time versus winding it. Notice that little spring where it rides. This moves something on the other side of the case too, but that's what's coming out next. Okay, just for reference, I was so afraid I was going to lose that little tiny screw that held that spring in that I put the spring and the screw back. It's back in the case. I didn't want to risk it. Looks like I have this side of the movement all cleared off. The only thing left attached are two springs. That little tiny one that's got to do with that set lever and the set mechanism on the other side of the movement. And then that bigger one kind of in the lower right center of the picture there. I'll put it in the center. That one stayed in there. I suppose I could take it out. Actually, I should do that so it cleans up underneath there. There's no pressure on it. I'm going to take that out. But other than that, everything here is stripped clear. I'm a little bit concerned. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there. There's a couple, I believe they're called banking pins. Right in the left center of the picture there. And they seem to be bent. I don't know what the story is with that. But otherwise, I'm going to flip her over and see what we got on the other side. There's something to do with those setting levers and stuff in there too. So, plan B, or I should say step 41. So we're back on the face, I believe it's the face side of the works. And I'm on the right side there's that 3 circular conglomeration. I'm sure it covers up a set of wheels that has something to do with setting the time. I almost messed up. That is left-hand threads on that thing. And I turned on it pretty hard and it moved a little bit and it stopped and I thought, oh crap. So yeah, live and learn. You got to be careful. That's left-hand thread, so that's going to come off the other way, and I'll see what's underneath there. I should check and see what that spring is holding. But that's the step we're working on now. Just so we know what we're looking at here, that 3-wheel combination thing there, that is held on with a little flat washer with a beveled edge that goes down, and then that screw, and that sits in the middle there. Now that thing on the left, that's just flipped directly over, so that brass wheel is on the bottom hole on the bottom right there. That other wheel in the center there, I'm assuming that'll lift off. And then that upper wheel there, I'm not sure that comes off of there without being pressed or something. But that's where we are, and then there's this spring. Those come off, and I should be able to clean this thing up and take a closer look at it. That's the bottom side towards the work side. And that is the top side. Flat side goes up away from the what am I trying to say, movement. I'm not sure if this wheel comes off of there. I want to set the phone down, I'll check that out. And yeah, it does. That wheel did come off. That's the dark colored one. It is not brass. I don't believe there's a difference top or bottom on this one. And then we have just the cover plate, if you will. See, that's got like a pinion on it there. That pushes, that's what is pushed and moved around on the other side by the end of the crown shaft. Then we have this little guy sitting right there. I think he's what turns the minute wheel to set the time. Look at that, all those little gears just for setting the time and winding the clock, I guess. What do we got left? We have that spring. I don't know this guy here, if that comes off. I'll check that a little bit more and take that spring off. Okay, I chickened out. That spring right in the center of the picture there, that long curved one with that screw, I'm going to leave him in the works. That screw is so small. There's no way I can keep from losing that thing. And another thing I discovered, right in the center there, you see there's the jewel with the two screws holding the jewel in place. And then down and to the right of that jewel, there's two screws. And I think the other end of them on the other side of the works is the banking pins. I don't know if it's the end of those screws or what. Now those pins look like they were bent. So I got to check that out a little bit. But we do have it. I think I can go to cleaning my very first stripped watch. We have, if I can get in the right spot here, we have parts. And more parts. I found out what was making it not run. the balance wheel and what's called the pallet fork is all messed up. The hairspring is bent all out of shape. The pin, I think they call it the banking. No, I'm not sure. It's not a banking pin, but it's something to do with the balance wheel there. It's on the end of the pallet fork. Let me see, where'd the pallet fork go? Right there, right in the center of the picture. That guy right there. Those two things that are kind of a violet color, they're actually jewels. They look good, but there's supposed to be one on the end of what looks like a fork there to the right, and it's broke off. Something happened. I don't know what happened, if somebody tried to fix it and got a little rough with it or what, but that's what's wrong with it. I got some parts ordered and they're coming. Whether I can make it work or not, we'll see. But I'm going to clean these parts up. I got some oils. Oil it up, put it back together for now, and then wait for the... I actually bought a whole new movement. It's coming. I bought on eBay. That I'll use as a donor movement, and between the two of them I should be able to get this thing up and running again, I hope. Anyway, that's what's keeping me busy this winter starting 2026. Happy New Year.